Becca! Stop making everything about you. This is about me. I could have died. Would you even care?
Chad.
Hello, Pencilish listeners. I'm John Densk. I'm an animator here at Pencilish, and today I'm going to give you a process breakdown from Bjorn the Last Unicorn, one of the series that will be dropping on Pencilish, and I will be going over how I go through animation. In this video, we have voices by Susan Egan for the character Becca right here, and then we have Jesse Elkins playing Chad right here. So let's go over from the beginning where we start as an animator. So this right here is the storyboard done by my friend and great artist Sam Abner. The storyboards are the first phase in the animation process. You have your dialogue, you have the whole show written out. So where you go from here is you make a storyboard so the animators and the other artists know where they're going to put the characters when they're animating, what the backgrounds are supposed to be. So let me play you the storyboard and I'll show you what this scene is.
Becca! Stop making everything about you. This is about me. I could have died. Would you even care?
Chad.
Alright, so this is a pretty fun little scene here. Chad is upset because he's lost his phone. And Becca doesn't really care too much. She's more worried about other things, but Chad thinks it's the end of the world. He's kind of a jerk character. He's very fun. And the back and forth here, I watch the storyboard and I kind of take note of where the characters are supposed to be in the scene. And from here, I'll start to do a rough pass. So from here, I hear the beats of the dialogue and I start acting out in my chair, in my mind, what I'm wanting to do for each word that I'm hearing that pops out. So when he says Becca, I immediately thought like he should be slamming his foot down, like he's so upset. And then when he says not everything is about you, I wanted him to point to Becca to kind of even prove that point a little more. And if you notice, I actually have him point just slightly before when he says you. So the finger gets there before the dialogue. So the viewer, you actually understand that he's talking to Becca and emphasizing Becca before he even says you in context to Becca. So once I have this rough pass, I'll add in Becca and do some slight acting here. This shot, she only says Chad. After I have this phase in, I go to my tie down phase if Tom approves this animation. Now, I do not typically thumbnail things if I have a great idea in mind already. So this one I did not thumbnail. I kind of just sat and watched it for a second and I had an idea. That's not how everybody works. That's typically called straight ahead animation. And then from here on out, I'll go to my tie down pass. And this is where I would draw all of the drawings that I just did, but I'd put them on model. And I am just going through and making all the drawings look pretty much. So originally it would look like this. So here's that middle pose where Chad's saying, not everything's about you, Becca. He doesn't say that. And then he comes back. So all these blue and red tick marks I already had in the rough animation. And I'm just going over them and adding all the details and making it actually look like Chad and Becca. Then once that's done, I add in all the in-betweens, which I'll play right now so you could hear it and see it move nice and pretty.
Becca! Stop making everything about you. This is about me. I could have died. Would you even care?
Chad.
So, as this is playing, I'll just point out some little things here and there. The charts that I do, I really usually mess up my charts a lot of the times. I'll have a chart in mind, and slowly as I'm in between things, I'll feel like, oh, I need a couple drawings here where I said that I needed some less, I actually need some more. So like for this one for Becca, let's just say, right in here, originally I may have only put 2 drawings, but as I played it out and watched the animation pass, oh, I actually need 3 drawings there. I do that pretty frequently. That's why I'm usually scared to hand off my scenes to someone else, which I have a lovely assistant now named Mackenzie Chaffins, and she's doing a great job. So I'm learning and she's learning in this process. But yes, this is the animation playing out, and now after this part's done, Tom goes over it and approves it. If he has any notes, he'll draw over my drawings and give me some notes in that process. And after this, it goes to color, where it looks super pretty like this. And I'll be quiet and I'll let it play out.
Becca! Stop making everything about you. This is about me. I could have died. Would you even care?
Chad.
This is all the hard work put together. Now, obviously, this isn't done. It still needs a background back here. And I'm sure there will be some sort of cool effects like lighting and maybe snow or whatever. And this tent needs to be drawn in. That's just my sloppy stand-in for now. But this is looking great so far. Now some things that I did want to point out, and I'll point them out here, I suppose. Some of my animation techniques that I'm pulling off here are, so this is like a smear frame right here in Chad's foot. In Chad's foot right here. This is a smear frame. So what I'm doing is I wanted Chad's foot to come down really fast between this frame where his foot looks normal and this frame where his foot is going out of the frame of view. So to get it there in one drawing, I added 3 feet. This is actually just a set of toes, but they kind of just smear through here and then goes down, comes through here, and it could easily just go out of frame. Another spot I do that in is right here. I add a couple of fingers to Chad to get his hand from coming overhead. Tom wanted it to come over really quick. So instead of starting here and going slow and drawing multiple hands like this with 2 drawings, I'm getting it from A to B in one drawing. Does that make sense? So if I were to time this out on this curve right here, this drawing would be A and this drawing would be B. And sometimes in a situation where this frame, where this hand is moving on one frame, I had to smear it. Not every piece of animation is ever on one frame. If you notice, this, I'm hitting the keyboard twice, that's 2 frames, so this is 2 frames. Most animation is done on 2 frames. And we use ones to make very quick motions like this. So when it plays out, it looks really quick. Let me go back over it. Whew. I don't think I do that anywhere else in this scene. And Becca is pretty straightforward. Actually, I do have that sort of thing going on Becca here. So this, if you slow this down, there's some really ugly drawings. Whoa! That one's not so bad, but then it comes back. So this is called easing in and easing out of a drawing. So here, I'm easing into my initial middle pose. So this, if I was going between 1 and 5 again, this would be 3, let's say. So I'm easing into 3. I've got a couple drawings in there. I'm using ones. As you can see down here, this frame is on 1 and this frame is on 2. I'm easing into this because I want to get to 5, which is all the way over here. This is 5. So from now I'm going to 3, I'll go all the way up. This will be 4, let's say. I know that doesn't make sense, but let's say this is 4. And I'm going to add drawings to ease into this. So let's say from 4, which is this drawing, to get to the next one, which will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I'm going to go half on the next one, but I really want to make it look like I'm easing into here. So that's where my drawings are going to get closer to this one right here. Leaving this chart here, this is showing my spacing from all my drawings. So instead of going something like this, where all the spacing is even, that's not going to look the same as doing something like this. Because you have all this space here, and you have all this space here, and then we're making very small spaces in here. And that's how you get that easing in effect with these drawings right here. This, it would be very even spacing all the way across. And that would kind of be for something like, well, I don't think I do that really in here. So I don't really have a demonstration on this shot because I didn't do this. Because generally this is a no-no. Most times that's a no-no, everybody. But in the end, that is my process on this shot. And that is a little tip on timing charts, which can be very confusing. So if you're wanting to learn animation, now you know a little bit more. But yes, so my process, we'll go over my process one more time just to go over it. So the rough animation starts off with very big blocks, as you can see in here. Very big drawings, not many going through. In actions like this very fast drawing, like this very fast motion where Chad's putting his foot down, I'll add a few more drawings here and kind of get that motion out now. But from here on, my process is usually acting this out in my head or in my chair. Sometimes I'll draw thumbnail drawings, which are little drawings roughly the size of your thumbnail that could be like this big. So Chad's coming up, his foot's down, that could be a thumbnail. Or a thumbnail could be a much bigger drawing like this, where it's a little more detailed. It's really up to you, whatever helps you get through this process in the beginning. But my process is usually to act it out in my chair and kind of think it through watching the storyboards. Then from here, we go to the tie downs, where the drawings look all pretty, and we add in all those in-betweens and make sure our timing is working. And then we go to the color. The color looks fantastic, and everything looks great. It's ready to be finished up. And I'll let it play one more time with all the audio so you can hear it.
Becca! Stop making everything about you. This is about me. I could have died. Would you even care?
Chad.
Well, there you go. I hope this helped with any ideas and questions about animation. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please look forward to Bjorn the Last Unicorn and to Chad and Becca. These guys rock. They are great characters. Essentially, if you're watching the episode when it comes out this year, basically I've animated these guys in the whole episode. I've been assigned to these two. So whenever you see these two, you'll see me. Please like and subscribe. That would really help out Pencilish and all of us to make more amazing content for all of you. So thank you and have a great day.